I have gotten endless requests in my comments to talk about calisthenics. Is it good? Is it worth it? Should I be doing it? And I'm honestly always shocked because I've never really thought of calisthenics as like its own thing. I've always kind of thought of it as like a complement to or even a part of strength training. But today, we're gonna talk all about it. Today, I'm gonna break down what calisthenics is, what the benefits are, and how you can incorporate it in your current routine if you're already not. Which, spoiler alert, you probably already are, but let's hop on in. Wikipedia defines calisthenics as the art of using one's body weight as resistance to develop physique. In simple words, it's body weight exercises. Squats, lunges, push-ups, pull-ups, dips, nothing that I wouldn't program myself. Well, except dips. I absolutely hate those. And the goal of these exercises is to manipulate your body weight in a way that provides enough resistance to build strength. Now, before we keep going, I think we should make a distinction between strength and muscle because those are two different things. To keep it super simple, muscle has to do with the physical size of a muscle, while strength more so has to do with the ability of your muscle to create contractions, or it's basically like your neuromuscular efficiency. So we can kind of say that strength has more to do with your neuromuscular system, and muscle has more to do with your musculoskeletal system. Those are two really hard words to say in a row. Is there overlap? Absolutely, but they are a little bit different. And let me give you an example on myself. I have solid muscle on my upper body and back, and you would probably look at me and think that I can do a ton of pull-ups. I can do one. Just because I have physical muscle does not mean that I have the strength to do multiple sets of pull-ups. So if I'm thinking of the difference between strength training and calisthenics, strength training to me is going to be more about muscle. Again, we're making a really broad statement right here just to make a point. And calisthenics is going to be more about strength. Can you work on these two things simultaneously? Absolutely, and you probably should. I think the point I'm trying to make is more about what each form of training biases as its focus. And again, I am making such big, broad generalizations, but it's really just to make you understand the difference. Let's talk about the benefits. Okay, that's a lot of leg. I went online and looked up a bunch of different claims of benefits of calisthenics, and here are the top 3 that I came across. Number 1, it will improve functional strength. I agree with this. Most of the movements that you see in calisthenics are mimicking things that we do every day. Squat, lunge, push, pull. But do you know where else we see that? Strength training. Next benefit is increased flexibility and mobility. Absolutely. When you're doing a squat, when you're doing a lunge, when you're doing a push-up, when you're doing a pull-up, all of these are calisthenic exercises that are going to take your joints through a full range of motion. Do you know where else we see that? Strength training. And finally, calisthenics can help build lean muscle mass. So by utilizing your own body weight strategically, you can absolutely build muscle by doing calisthenics. Do you know where else you can build muscle? Say it with me. Strength training. Now, after all of that, you're probably sitting here thinking that my conclusion is that strength training is better than calisthenics. No. The point I'm trying to make is that they have a lot of overlaps in their benefits, just like the example of strength versus muscle that we talked about earlier. Personally, I think it comes down to a few things. What are your goals? What equipment do you have access to? And what do you truly enjoy? These questions are going to help you decide what type of movement routine you would like to build for yourself. How much of it is body weight? How much of it is strength training? Where is the overlap? I just bring this up because I guarantee in the next few years, calisthenics is going to be like the next big thing. Influencers are going to claim that calisthenics is like this revolutionary way to train. It's fully changed their body and you need to buy their specific program to see results. Some kind of BS like that is going to pop up. And you know how I know that? Because we've already seen it happen. Fitness is secular. It's happened with Pilates. That's been around since like the 1920s. Don't quote me on that date. We've already seen it with functional core training. So I am sure we will see it with calisthenics at some point. If we just look at the studies we have access to thus far, they will show us that a moderate mix of everything is key to long-term health. Are you strength training 2 to 3 times a week? Are you getting an average of 7,000 to 8,000 steps a day? Are you eating color at your meals? Are you prioritizing minimally processed foods? Are you sleeping well 7 to 9 hours a night? And within that basic routine, you might see some Pilates, you might see some functional core training, you might see some calisthenics, but it's not about one thing. It's about zooming out and the bigger picture as a whole. And you know, whatever trend happens next, it's not going to revolutionize your body. You just need to stick to the basics and sprinkle in things that you enjoy to help keep it sustainable. But I kind of low-key do hope that calisthenics like takes off soon because then people are going to find this video and I'm going to make a lot of money from it because that is exactly what happened with my Pilates video. I'm going to take you through a few exercises that I will typically do across the board with a lot of my clients, and you can decide if it's a good fit for your workouts. First one is pretty simple and straightforward, a squat. A bodyweight squat. A bodyweight squat is going to be a staple of my clients who are newer to training. You know, navigating a stacked position between the ribs and the pelvis and keeping proper core tension is a lot harder than it seems. So at the beginning, I'm typically going to elevate the heels, keep the weight off until they're ready for it, and really make sure that they are able to keep that stacked positioning all the way down and all the way up with proper trunk tension. Next exercise is walking lunges. These are brutal with or without weight. Walking lunges are incredible for building spatial awareness, coordination, and again, navigating that stacked positioning, especially now as we're actually moving physically through space. You know, depending on someone's goals, you could honestly justify adding these in kind of anywhere in a workout, whether they're weighted, whether they're body weight. Personally, I really like them as a drop set. So for instance, maybe I just did some weighted reverse lunges with a client. Now we're gonna drop the weight and go back and forth across our space ones without any weight, just to really work those legs. Next one is push-ups and pull-ups. I'm gonna put these in the same category because I think that they are kind of the outlier where it takes a lot longer for people to need to add weight to these to progress. And if we think about it really simply, you are using your upper body, which is comprised of smaller muscles, to move the entire weight of your full body. Whereas with something like a squat or a lunge, you are using your lower body, which is comprised of much larger muscles, to move your entire body weight. So this is also when people ask me, like, can I build muscle with body weight exercises? I say to a point, or it depends. Because if you're a true beginner and you do body weight squats, you can definitely build muscle to a point because your body is going to quickly adapt to the weight that it's moving. And that's the amazing thing about our bodies. They're going to adapt to the stress, which is exercise, that it's put under. So you're moving your own body weight, you see an adaptation, and then to continue that adaptation, you need to add more resistance. But again, with push-ups and pull-ups, you have a lot more time before you have to actually add that resistance, if you ever do, simply because your upper body is a smaller unit. If you're looking to get better at push-ups and pull-ups, I have 2 free videos here on YouTube, and then I also have a free pull-up program on my website, and then one that you can purchase on my website as well. And then these are also both included in Fit Club memberships. That's my shameless plug. Let's move to the next exercise. All right, the last one is a side plank. I always say this is no one's favorite plank, but it's so good for you. They're super freaking hard. You're holding up your whole body with one arm. They're really versatile. If you've ever taken classes with me or done any of my programs, you know that I have a ton of different variations of side planks that I like to utilize. And again, I rarely add weight to these because you're using a smaller muscle group to hold up your entire body weight. So you can definitely do a lot of different progressions and variations before you would ever even need to add weight. We did it. All right, so hopefully that was helpful. And really my point of this video is to make you understand that when you see someone saying calisthenics is the best way, or this is the best way, or that is the best way, it's just because they like it the best, or maybe they have a personal stake in it, or maybe they're trying to sell you something. I think the best way is the thing that keeps you healthy long-term. And if that's more calisthenics, a little less strength training, or vice versa, if there's a mix of Pilates in there, if there's a mix of yoga, if there's a lot of walking or hiking or swimming, like, we need to zoom out and look at what you actually enjoy, because that's what's going to make it the most sustainable. If you have any questions, or if there's another modality of training that you would like me to dive into, please let me know down in the comments below. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out, and I will see you all in the next one.